Natalie Reynolds, kicker. You know, I used to be on kick like way back in the day.
Way back in the day, but you know, I think that one was spelled K-E-E-K. This one is K-I-C-K, I guess. I wonder if it's the same thing. It's still the same.
K-I-K. That's what I remember. Maybe it wasn't.
But anyway,
but it was like what's up to a lot of us. But I guess it's been updated. I haven't been on that thing in almost a decade. I think
it's been over a decade because you were on kick when you were like 14, 15. So yeah. About that time.
I think we were 13, 12, honestly. Oh, I
no,
can't remember.
You didn't have a phone then.
I always think I'm older than I always think I'm younger than I actually was at the time. Because we were in that house at 8808. That was how old then? What, 13?
Well, you got there when we were 10. When you were 10.
Really? When was I in Panorama? How old was I when I was in Panorama?
You were 9 when you left.
So I was like 8. I did a video the other day on my YouTube and I was talking about how my friend Erica Webb traumatized me with roller coasters. And I was like, I was 10, 12 at the time. I actually was probably 8, 7. Because she left me to go on that drop zone.
Oh, you were 8.
Okay, so that's how,
I
don't know why I said I was 10, 12. I guess, I'm always thinking Anyway, back to the video. So this woman, she obviously does streaming or whatever on this app called Kick.
Yeah.
And
they go around humiliating people
and bullying people.
And they do it live.
For views. So she does a lot of weird stuff, but this time, this woman that she kind of called over, they were talking and she was like, hey, do you guys, first she was saying that, do you guys want to, first of all, they said the woman was disabled. Okay. Well,
even if that's the case, this woman also, though, I think mentally disabled.
Oh, mentally.
However, this woman, there are parts of it where it shows her talking to Natalie, is her name?
Yeah, Natalie Reynolds is her kick.
And saying that, kind of like propositioning her. Natalie was like, yeah, we both can go skinny dipping, right? And then later on she tells the woman, I'm 17 though. So then the woman says, oh, well, 17 is young, right? So, but the woman seeing though she was propositioning her. Regardless if that's the case.
What do you mean propositioning her sexually?
Well, that's what it seems like. That's what it seemed. Like someone who is interested in you. That's what it sounded like to me, right? Now, listen, everybody has, I'm not saying that that's wrong for her to proposition her because, it's a woman and a woman. But what I'm saying is that, but once she found out, the older woman, once she found out that she was 17, which she's not, but when she found out that she's 17, she's like, oh, well, no, that's too young if you're 17, because she knows that's illegal, right? For her to be like talking to someone about skinny dipping and she's 17. So anyhow, she lied to the woman and said she was 17. Then the woman said, yeah, you are too young. So then she goes about, well, go ahead, let's go ahead and skinny dip. Take off your clothes or whatever. Anyhow, they both go. But she doesn't go in the water. I guess the woman thought that she was going to go in the water with her, but she doesn't. So the woman just goes in the water.
Well, the older woman didn't get naked. I mean, she had her
shirt
didn't.
On. She didn't take off her clothes.
But I guess she was saying that she was. The whole thing's very weird.
Anyhow, the problem that we had with it is that, so you've let this woman go in the water, right? She's in there. She says she can't swim. She's calling out to you. You're there laughing with your friends. Oh my God, she can't swim. Well, I hope I didn't kill her. Now she was doing this live. So I guess her fans are like, wait, is the woman still alive? And then they're hearing the woman yelling, saying, I can't swim. I only learned how to float.
Okay, and so her fans are not happy about that. They're accusing her of killing the woman. And so that's when she starts pretending to cry, the Natalie. And it's like, oh my God, I mean, come on, I'm not the one, you know, I didn't push her in. She wanted to skinny dip with me. You know, she wanted to be my friend. The thing is, you lured the woman over there for views. You lied to her, right? And you let her go in this, apparently they said it's some infected lake, that there are signs everywhere that there shouldn't be any swimming. They don't even allow the dogs to go in that water. The water is so bad with some mildew looking algae. So anyhow, the woman is in this infested pool. In the end, I guess the fire truck had to come and rescue her. By that time, they left. She and her friends left. They just left completely. And they don't show the woman anymore. To this day, I still wonder, did they get her? As they were driving off, here comes the fire truck coming. So we don't know if that woman ever got removed from that water, if she made it out. But I was just thinking, I sent this to my kids, because you know, you guys are the Gen Z. I'm just like, I wanted to see if they found it funny, because I just, you know, every now and then you have to see as a parent. I didn't expect them to find it funny at all. But I said, let me just see if this is like some humor that, you know, the young people are doing. Like, they were both disgusted.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. What the hell is this? And then you just left her there and you all are running away and you guys are laughing about it? Like, what is this? No, this is not a generational thing. This is some sicko stuff. So that's, you guys had the same reaction.
Yeah, I do want to just say this because I do feel like, you know, there has been a lot of hate with Gen Z. And for me, I feel like
that's because you're the parents of Gen X and they had the same hate for the parents.
Well, I also feel like there's these misconceptions about Gen Z that, you know, oh, they're always on the internet. I mean, they're always on the internet. Oh, they're very sensitive. They can't take anything. That they're not about anything.
They surely haven't shown us that. These Gen Z, they were out there. They're the ones who were out there like protesting. All the protests that's being done, they stand out firm. So I am very proud of Gen Z. They've been protesting since 2020. They showed us that they are connected. They stay connected about the news, about what's going on in the world, and they are not afraid to let their voices be heard. And I'm very proud of them. Like, because of that, I look at them and say, okay, our world is going to be just fine, because the youth will always be our conscience, and they are always the ones that are strong enough to stand up. Even in the 60s, it was the same thing. It was those college students who were protesting. Like, we forget about that. Like, we conveniently, when we get older, I think we just forget that, oh, you know, our generation was doing the same thing when we were young. We forget about that, and all of a sudden now we frown on college kids or the youth, you know?
I also do feel like with Gen Z, I do feel like there's a lot of hate because they did say that, oh, we're always on their phones. These people who have always been on their phones, they're millionaires at 20s. In their 20s. Like, they are out here making
a lot of things.
They're making more money than most doctors, if we're being like really honest. Like, Kelly Stamps is making like what, $40,000 a month? You know, last time I checked. Like, these people who are out here, they were saying that, oh, they're on their phones, they're doing this, all this stuff. They found a way to make money. Like, I feel like Gen Z are actually very revolutionary. Like, we have some really phenomenal Gen Zs. Nora Smith is a Gen Z, and she's out here being a traditional wife, all this stuff, but she's also making money, and she's also living a good marriage while she's also modeling as well, but she's also making her money on the side from TikTok and all this stuff. Like, you can make thousands of dollars a month from TikTok as well.
Exactly.
So I feel like the Gen Z, really, I feel like they are the generation that's often overlooked, and I feel like there's a lot of hate.
They're breaking the mold on a lot of things. A lot of things they have looked at, and they're saying, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this isn't right and all this stuff. Like, I feel like they're very aware because there's so much information on the internet. You know, they're also able to be aware, but they're also in the books as well, I feel. So I do feel like Gen Z is often overlooked.
And
there's also a lot of
Even though they don't, like they're growing up in a world that economically we don't know what's going on.
And they're not scared to be living at home with their parents because they know it makes more financial sense. You know what I'm saying? And then also, thankfully for the Gen X parents, they're parents that I feel like they are a little bit above their time because they realize the importance of, sometimes they see how their parents did not have anything, and then also the kids don't have anything. So they realize that, in order for our kids to have something so they can take care of us later on, they're willing to help their kids along the way.
Yeah.
But that's the good of Gen Z.
Yeah.
There are some really phenomenal Gen Z. So I don't want to sit down here. I remember this guy said that Gen Z is aging like milk. No, you just aging like milk.
Yeah.
He was 26. I think he was biracial and he was black. And he made some comments about how Gen Z are aging like milk, which I honestly don't think that's true.
You he'll be like,
you have a full beard. Of course you look old as hell. So I was just like, don't go and say all Gen Z are aging like milk. Like, please go sit down somewhere. But this woman...
And I really think that Gen Z, they have just gone through so much. Just think about what they have gone through from the time that they came on this earth. Like, our world has been...
crumbling.
Just turned topsy-turvy, right? Like, I never had to deal with some of these things that they are going through in their 20s.
Yeah.
I never had to deal with these kinds of things in my age. So I think they're dealing with it the best that they can. And they're going to be okay. But yeah, I love my Gen Z. I'm very proud of them.
Now this
Gen Z.
I'm
also proud of the millennials too. The millennials also did quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
And they still are. So,
But I do want to say, this Gen Zer, because just to get it back to the video.
Oh, what was the video about?
And Natalie Reynolds is one of
this heifer.
Yes, so I wanted to preference it because I don't want this to be a video about, oh my God, all Gen Z are like this, because it's not true. I do feel like there are some people on the internet.
This woman is not a Gen Z. I do believe, isn't she in her 30s? This woman is not young. She's like, she is still a youth. But she is, I think she's Adam's age. I think she's like 32.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. I know she wears these clothes
makes her look young.
to make her look like she's a teenager, but she's not. Actually, she's older than you.
Anyway, so she's not even Gen Z. I don't even know why we had... Anyway, but I feel like this woman, whatever generation she is,
right?
I feel like there are certain people on the internet... I went to put a video here, at 12:22 about something that the JT said.
Okay.
But yeah, so I feel like there are some people on the internet that need to go clock in. They need to hop off the internet and go get a job. There are some people who just aren't mentally wrapped
probably
tight.
Needs to not clock off the internet and go get a job, because she's going to take the same awful behavior to work.
That's fine though.
So
because
what she
has
needs
a
to
boss.
do, she needs
There'll
to
be
be in
control.
some therapy.
Well, she'll have a boss.
She needs some therapy because something is going on with Natalie. Like, she's not wrapped too tight. And I think somewhere along the line, maybe if we go and we look in her familial life, we'll find that maybe she was made fun of. Maybe she's being put down even to this day by maybe family members. Because you just don't become this. Now, I know there's some people who are just devils, right?
Yeah.
But I feel when I look at her, she looks to me to be such an insecure ball of energy. And I'm wondering where that is coming from.
You are 30-something damn years old. Go seek therapy. Get your SHIT in order. There's no reason for you to be out here trying to kill the disabled and harming folk because you were tortured. That's like R. Kelly going and saying, oh, I was molested by my sister, so I'm going to go and molest others.
Right.
There's no excuse.
When
you realize there's something wrong with you mentally, go get that SHIT figured out.
Yeah, I don't think she's
get off the internet. Go be somebody.
She's one of those people who needs to be off the internet.
And she actually needs to be in a job because there's only so much craziness you can do when you have a boss. Okay?
I see what you're saying.
But when you're here with your own devices and you're doing all this stuff, I feel like there's an issue with Not the internet, but there's issue with people who go on the internet and they do and say any and everything just to get attention.
Yeah.
Just like how I feel there's something wrong with that girl, Queen of Kings. We just talked about her.
We just talked about her.
But you
Go and watch
sat
that
down
video.
here and you were berating your husband and all this stuff, and you're portraying this lifestyle and you're doing all this
Sometimes
stuff.
people need to just clock off, like you said, clock off the internet.
Go read a book. Go learn. Go read a book.
Sometimes
go learn a new language.
Yeah.
Learn about geography. Learn your multiplication tables.
Go
do some division.
Yes.
Learn algebra. Like
something.
Do something. I feel like sometimes people they forget that everything's not about the internet. Sometimes you have to pick up a book.
Yeah.
And learn something.
Yeah.
And common sense, I don't know if it can be learned.
Well, I think that maybe going around in society, maybe going out in society, go around people who you're not comfortable around. Now, she had done something, the same Natalie Reynolds, she had done something where she dressed like a homeless woman, sat outside. She had a thing saying that if you can give me $1, I will give you an F. So people passed, but this one guy was like, oh, okay. Yeah, come on, let's go.
To her?
Yes. And she was like, oh, she's like, did you see my sign? He said, yeah, I mean, for just $1, okay. And she was like, well, no, I'm not going to give you that. So anyway, there were some women across the street who were not, he didn't even look at those, they were even looking at her. They were talking to each other. They were on their phone. She goes from across the street to go to them and scream at them in her homeless outfit, and curse them out. I see you looking at me. What are you looking at me for? I see you looking at me and videotaping me. I know what that's about. And just start cursing them out. Just because. And she did all of that live.
I feel like the internet, it's like that tree of evil that God was talking about with Adam and Eve.
The tree of good and evil.
Yeah, there's good in it and then there's evil in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
when you tasted both, sometimes it messes you up. Like,
I feel like there's a lot of good.
There is a lot of good
on the internet. We're able to use it as a learning tool and all this stuff. But I feel like it's important that we don't use it for evil and we try to spread goodness, because I feel like because the world, I mean, everything in America, everything is so crazy right now and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of miserable people. I've seen that there's more miserable people on Instagram than on TikTok.
But to be laughing at people's misery,
you have to
we gotta
something
get
better.
out of doing that. Like that laughing at others' misery. There's something little sick about that.
You have to use the internet, I feel, for good. I feel like we need to be putting, I thank God for people like Ralph Smarts, David Goggins, Simone Nicole. Like, there's so many amazing people out there that are spreading good. Walter Maya, what's his wife name? Miss Trudy. There's so many good people out there that spread good cheer, and I feel like that's what our world needs more of.
Absolutely.
And it starts with you. You can't be out here and saying, oh, I'm going to be doing this, and this is what gets views. Yes, there are some miserable people out there who get high off of other people being miserable as well, because it makes them feel like their life is less effed up.
Yeah.
But it's important to spread the good, because that's when good comes to you.
Shine your light.
When you spread hate and darkness, that's when darkness comes to you. And you are lucky that your ASS didn't go to jail.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Because you could have gone to jail. That woman could have been dead. Mm-hmm. So all of that stuff. But I don't want to do another 20-minute video on rubbish. So.
You're right about that.
As JT said, go be somebody, clock out, go get a job. You know what I'm saying? I want to find that video and I want to put it here.
She certainly shouldn't be on the internet. She needs a timeout from the internet. And I'm surprised that she has not been kicked off. You guys let us know if she has been banned.
Well, they said it's suspended.
So that would be great if she had. I think it was only for 3 days.
Great. So, no accountability.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see y'all on the next video.
Bye.